Go.
Have you ever thought about the substances that are in the water that we drink or are not in the water that we drink? Well, one of these substances is fluoride. Now there has been a controversial debate for many years about whether or not fluoride should or should not be present in the water that we drink. And I, for one, am here to tell you today that fluoride, in fact, should be in the water that we drink. Now, I personally drink water with fluoride in it, and not only does it taste the same as water without fluoride in it, but I have also reaped far more health benefits over the years of drinking water with fluoride in it. Now today, I would like to talk about the criteria that all water that we drink should meet, and how fluoride with water does in fact meet these criteria. So first, the water that we drink should meet certain criteria. And the first criteria is that the water needs to be safe and provide more health benefits than health risks. Now, according to an article that was published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in 2014, unsafe water can cause potential health risks such as gastrointestinal illness, reproductive problems, and many different neurological disorders. Now, of course, an unsafe community would also imply that medical costs in the community are also going up. And I will expand on this idea more later on. Now, the second criteria that all water must meet is that the cost of water and its associated risks needs to be as financially prudent as possible. Now, there is a cost to putting substances such as fluoride in our water. However, there are also costs associated with the potential health risks of drinking water that does not contain fluoride. And just to state one example, the medical costs associated with tooth decay in communities that consume water without fluoride, those medical costs are actually increasing every year in the United States. Now, the third criteria that all water must meet is that the water needs to meet the standards of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And the final criteria is that the water that we drink should taste and smell appropriately. So now that I have mentioned all the criteria that the water should meet, I would like to now talk about how the water that contains fluoride does in fact meet these criteria. So the water that contains fluoride meets the first criteria that I mentioned because water that contains fluoride in it is safe. Now, in fact, it has actually been proven that water with fluoride is safer than water without fluoride. Now, according to Fluoride Myths and Facts, which was published in 2016, a 2007 review of studies found that fluoride prevents tooth decay among adults of all ages, and that fluoridated water prevents decay by as much as 27%. And also, in a 2008 study of the armed forces, 52% of new recruits were categorized as Class 3 in dental readiness, which means that they had many oral health problems that needed urgent attention and would delay overseas deployment. Now, so as you can see, there are many health benefits associated with fluoride in water, and there are far too many risks associated without fluoride in our water. Now, as you can see here, we have a picture of an individual that has many cavities in his teeth. And then we also have an individual with clean teeth. And I think I speak for most when I say that I'd prefer to be the individual with the clean teeth. And the only real health problem that is associated with fluoride in water is by consuming too much fluoride in the water. And that condition is known as dental fluorosis. And dental fluorosis can alter the appearance of children's teeth during tooth development. However, this effect is mostly mild and is usually only an aesthetic concern. Now, I would like to talk about how water meets the second criteria that I mentioned earlier, and which is meeting the standards of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And the reason that water with fluoride does this is because, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which you can see a chart that was published right here by that organization, the optimal water must contain certain amounts of these substances. And one of these substances is fluoride. And here it states that there should be about 1.1 to 5 milligrams per liter, 1 to 5 milligrams of fluoride per liter of water. However, it has been scientifically proven that about 0.7 milligrams of fluoride per liter of water is about the optimal amount of fluoride. Now, I would like to go to my third criteria and talk about how water with fluoride in water also meets the third criteria. And this is because the cost of water and its associated risks are financially more prudent with fluoride in it. Now, without fluoride in water, the costs of dental care have skyrocketed dramatically. Now, according to Fluoride Myths and Facts again, a Texas study in 2014 confirmed that the state saved $24 per child per year in Medicaid expenditures because of the cavities that were prevented by drinking fluoridated water. And there's also evidence that costs of dental risks associated with water without fluoride are far greater than the costs of putting fluoride in the water itself. Now, evidence shows that for most cities, every $1 invested in fluoridated water saves $38 in unnecessary treatment costs. And with this, I would like to go to my final criteria and talk about why water with fluoride meets the final criteria. And this is because water with fluoride in it tastes and smells appropriately. Now, a lot of us know how water without fluoride tastes in it, but according to an article titled Symptoms of Experience During Periods of Actual and Supposed Water Fluoridation that was published in an article in 1997, it has been proven that fluoride does not affect the appearance, taste, and smell of water. So as you can see, not only is water with fluoride no different than without it, but also provides far more health benefits while also meeting the criteria of healthy drinking water that I mentioned in my speech. Now, fluoride has been proven to not only be effective in water, but also in other items such as toothpaste as well. The CDC, or Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, recognizes fluoridation's effectiveness in preventing tooth decay and cited fluoridation as one of the 10 greatest public health achievements in the 20th century. So hopefully the next time you think of fluoride, you will not fall victim to the myths about how fluoride is harmful to us, but will rather remember its numerous dental benefits, as well as how much more cost efficient it is to have the fluoride in the water compared to not having it.